Yo, 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 this your boy, Sons of Midnight, Let's Get Wicked, etc., Polly Walnuts. So, if anybody's like me, I am a huge coffee drinker now. It used to be soda back in the day, growing up. In the mornings, I always needed caffeine to start functioning. And so I switched it to coffee a couple of years ago, because soda's just not good for you to drink all the time like I was. So I became accustomed to loving nitro cold brew. And I go to Starbucks and it's like $5.85 after tax, I think, for a was it venti, the largest cold brew size I have, because they don't have the largest one. They do like grande or something, I think. So I would go there every Saturday to Sunday and get nitro cold brew. So that's like what, $12 almost a week just spent on coffee. So I said, fuck that shit. Let me go ahead and brew my own nitro cold brew, because I was making my own cold brew and it was easy. So I don't get that Starbucks coffee and shit when I do shit at home. I use this from Aldi, and it's like $6. So it's awesome. It's organic and it tastes good. I like the taste. It's a medium roast. I'm not a dark roast kind of guy. So I got this. I've been using this cold brew for a while, and I decided, hey, let me start doing the nitro cold brew at home. So I looked up this right here that you're seeing on the screen, and I bought it. You can see the little box up here. It's the box that shows I did purchase it up there. So it's $150. Retail $180 supposedly. I thought, man, ordering this shit is gonna save me so much money. I mean, look what it comes with. It comes with all this stuff, and you can't see because my picture's there, but it comes with all this. And I'm like, man, that's a good deal. That's going to save me $12 a week just on coffee right there. So I did it. I got this. And I'm like, oh man, this ain't going to be hard at all. Fucking wrong. And this is why I decided I'd rather go to Starbucks now, or wherever you want to go, and get cold brew, nitro cold brew, than do it in here. So here's what it looks like, and I'm going to tell you why. Here's what it looks like. That's the keg. This comes off, and what you do is you install this on the inner faucet to the part that screws off, and then this is, the little valve, and then you stick this on top, screw this on, and I could just leave it on, actually. I don't know why I have it off. And then when this screws off here, you would put the capsule in here, flip it, and screw it on right here. So it doesn't sound like it's that hard to do, right? Not at all. It doesn't sound hard to do, and there's the little thing. So what you don't take into account is to do 3 cups of nitro cold brew. 3 cups. It is, I believe, if I recall correctly, 14 tablespoons of coffee. That's a lot of fucking coffee. Then you have to put it not in the keg. You put it in like I do. I was doing a pitcher. You have a little filter too. You'll need to get your, if you want to do this, you get yourself a little filter to strain the coffee through when you're ready to put it into the keg. But I put it in this pitcher and let it just soak overnight. 24 hours. 14 scoops of coffee. So doing that, all right, and then to even drink this the following morning, because if you're like me, I work early, so in the morning I have to get up before I can even drink the coffee. I have to strain it through the strainer here, and it dumps into the keg, and it takes a minute. Because it's a lot of coffee. 14 tablespoons. That's a lot of fucking coffee. So, you dump all that in here, right? And then you have it all strained. You gotta screw this on. You gotta put this thing together. They give you a little wrench. You gotta screw this onto here and tighten it. And of course, you gotta put this, attached to this part on the keg first. And then once you do that, you gotta do the cartridge. So these cartridges are about $25 they're like $25 for 14 of them, something like that. I don't exactly remember. So just to even drink the coffee, you gotta do this, and then you gotta screw it. CO2 just leaks out no matter what. It sucks, and you have to like turn this little thing until you can hear it stop leaking. So you already lost some CO2 as it fills up. And then once that's done, you have to put it in the fridge. You have to shake it for like 10 seconds, put it in the fridge, and wait an hour. So that's an additional hour I have to wait to drink my coffee at 8 fucking a.m. when I start work. So that there is a lot. And then cleaning it, they want you to use baking soda in here, which I haven't done. I use, gentle soap like Dawn Organics or whatever, just some gentle ass soap. You have to use these brushes they give you. You have to clean this. You have to clean this. You have to clean this. You have to clean this nozzle. You have to clean this keg. It takes a good 15 minutes probably to properly clean it. And then you got to do it all over again if you want to do coffee for the next day. So imagine doing that every day. That's a lot of time. And then the cartridges, again, are not cheap. And if you don't tighten this thing, if you don't tighten this well enough, like tight enough onto the valve, then it's not going to work anyway. You won't get, your coffee won't come out well at all. So there's that. I made that mistake twice. So you really have to use the wrench and go as tight as you can if you're going to use this. This machine is great, but it's very time consuming. And I would rather, at this point now, it's gotten to the point where I'd rather just go spend the $5.85 at Starbucks down the street, or those other, whatever other coffee shop you want to go to for a nitro cold brew, than to do it at home. Because the cleanup on this, the amount of coffee you have to buy to do at least 3 cups, and then 28 cups if you want to do 6 cups of coffee. I don't know what the max is for this. I don't remember seeing a carrying bag like it says, but you get everything else. And if you do have a carrying bag, what the fuck? Where are you carrying it? So, this is why I don't cold brew. I don't nitro cold brew anymore at home. I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. It's not as easy as it looks. So if you're thinking about doing this, just know it takes some time. And there's a big cleanup to it. And there's a lot of prep time to it as well. At least an hour prep. Well, an hour to let it sit after you drain the coffee in it. And for me, because the coffee grounds are so fine and stuff, because it's ground up coffee, even if you grind it yourself from whole bean, that's going to take you at least probably 10 minutes to filter it into the keg. And then the cleanup time is at least 15 minutes. So that's like an hour and a half prep time to even start to drink. So, and then you have to do, 14 more tablespoons of coffee into a pitcher or whatever to do it for the next day if you want 3 cups. So it's insane. I just don't. I'm not saying I'm lazy because I'm not, but it's just so much prep work when you could just go down. For me, just Starbucks every fucking where, or a local coffee shop. I can just go to 5 minutes away. Not even 5 minutes, 2 minutes away and get it. You can order it online. Now, if you live in a small town that doesn't have this real close, maybe you live out in a rural area, this might be your best bet than driving 10 miles to a Starbucks or whatever it may be. But for somebody who lives in a city that has Starbucks everywhere and has local coffee shops everywhere, I just don't see that this is worth it. So yeah, this is kind of why I stopped brewing nitro cold brew at home. I want to share my experience. I don't know if there's anything out there about people who've done it, but it's time consuming, and I would rather not spend 2 hours a day, maybe a little less. I might be exaggerated, but it's definitely not 15 minutes a day. I would rather not spend 2 hours a day, an hour a day, whatever, cleaning up and making nitro cold brew when I can go down the street 2 minutes away and get it in 10 minutes and not have any cleanup at all. So weigh the pros and cons out. If you live in a smaller area, not a bigger city, and you don't have a coffee shop near you or whatever, this might be your best bet. But if you live in a bigger city like myself, or live in an area where there's a lot of coffee choices for you, Starbucks, local shops, Caldi's, whatever, then my recommendation is to go there if time is of the essence for you. If time's not a factor for you, do this by all means. But if you're like me and you don't want to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours doing cleanup every day just to get your nitro cold brew, go to a different coffee shop.